Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing my August pile of possibilities. And I will tell you that I love watching videos about TBRs and piles of possibilities for each month. I don't know why, but I always get all these great ideas for books, and I just add so many more books to my own TBR. But I love them. I love making plans and setting goals. Now, I don't always reach those, of course, but it's fun to do. It's fun to set out the books that you want to read for the month and just kind of go through that stack, but also leave room for mood reading too. This whole summer, I have been working on the summer book bingo card, and this is a game that is hosted by Tiffany at Beautiful Minutia, and it has been the highlight of my summer. I've told her that I think on several occasions that I've really enjoyed doing this because it's just given me direction for my summer reading. But I have so many books on my shelf that are great for the summertime because I do like to read seasonally, but it's hard to, decide on what you want to read, and this gives me a way to do that. So I've been working my way through, and I am almost finished with all of the prompts, so I'll have a blackout for the bingo card. So definitely I want to make sure that I am choosing books to fulfill those last few prompts I have on the bingo card. But other than that, I really don't have that many plans for August. So here are the few books that I do have on my August TBR, my pile of possibilities for the month of August. So the first one is The Shell Seekers by Rosamund Pilcher. Now this is a book that I had decided before the summer to read during the summer, and I'm finally getting to that. I love Rosamund Pilcher's writing. I discovered her work when I read Winter Solstice in December. I buddy read that with a couple of fellow booktubers. We had a great time. We all loved it. I thought it was a 5-star read, and so I do hope that this will be similar because I've heard from you, some of my viewers have mentioned that this was their favorite Rosamund Pilcher. So I'm ready to start this one, and I am anticipating a 5-star read for this. And this will fulfill the over 500 pages prompt because I think it's a few pages over 500, and so that will fulfill that prompt on the summer book bingo card. So I need to go ahead and get to this one because it is over 500 pages. But I'm excited about this one, and I have wanted to read it. I had decided to read it in the summer. It took a little while before I could round up a used copy, so I found a copy. So now I'm ready to read that one. And I do have several others of Rosamund Pilcher on my shelf that I want to read, so I definitely need to start getting to those. So that's one. And then the other is Classic. That is one of the prompts on the bingo card. So I plan on reading Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. And I have read Ruth and North and South, and both of those were 5-star reads. She is becoming a favorite author, so I'm anxious to get to this one too. At the beginning of the year, I had decided, well, I'll try to read 2 Elizabeth Gaskells, and I haven't read any yet. So I thought Mary Barton would be a great place to go next with Elizabeth Gaskell, and this will fulfill the classic prompt on the bingo card. And again, if you have read any of these, I try to remember to say that in these videos. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, or if you have ideas. If you see a certain kind of book that I'm always mentioning, maybe historical fiction or classic or Victorian, and it prompts another book, by all means, leave that in the comments because I'm always looking for more favorites in my on my TBR. So make sure you do that if you think of those along the way. So Mary Barton would be the classic for the prompts on the summer book bingo card. And then I also wanted to read, now this won't fulfill any of the prompts, but I also want to read The 7 Dials Mystery by Agatha Christie because I think this is a standalone, and I'm trying to read all these standalones first before I get into Poirot or Miss Marple series. Now I have read a few of those, but I'm trying to read all the standalones first. And I had this down all summer to read, and I just haven't picked it up yet. I always love reading an Agatha Christie. They're always fun to read. So this is the one that I've chosen for August. So then another prompt on the summer book bingo is Owned for Over a Year, and I have The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. This has been on my I don't know how long this has been on my shelf, but it's been on there for quite some time. It's a New Bear winner, so I definitely want to read it. because I'm trying to read all the Newbery books. And I've heard great things about this one. The description sounds like lots of fun. It sounds like a mystery. The Westing game is kind of a mystery game, I think. And so it's not very long. I think that this one would be lots of fun. So I have that one too. And then one of the other prompts is a favorite author. And so I was looking through my books. I have several favorite authors that I'm trying to work my way through their books. But I noticed that I have 2 books by Michelle Greep that I have not read. And I've not read a Michelle Greep in quite some time. And I do love her work. She's a favorite author. She is a Christie Award winner, which is a Christian fiction award. And so I have these 2 that I've picked up. The Noble Guardian. I think this is part of a series. And then The House at the End of the Moor. These have been sitting on my shelf. I really want to get to them. I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy them because I always enjoy her writing. But I need to decide on which one to read and where to start. If you've read these, let me know. And is this a series? I think it is. I'm not sure about this one. But I think they're both, because I think I've read something in this series. I think it's more of a Victorian historical fiction, and this one is too, which of course I love because I love historical fiction. So I do want to read one of those, not sure which one. And then I also had a few other books in my historical fiction stack because that stack is getting higher and higher. So I need to get to some of these historical fiction books. So let me know in the comments if you've read any of these and you think that's where I should start. Let me know that too. So I have Shadow Among Sheaves by Naomi Stevens. This, I think, is a retelling of Ruth and Boaz, the story of Ruth and Boaz in the Bible. So this is Christian fiction and again, historical fiction. Sounded really good. And then I have Land of Silence. This is a biblical fiction book that I haven't read. Heard great things about this. So I picked it up and it's sitting there. So I need to read this one. And then I also had the sequel to Dear Mrs. Bird. I read that a couple of years ago, I think. Loved it. And this is Yours Cheerfully. That book was such a different take on World War II. And it had some funny things in it as well. I enjoyed that one a lot. So I've wanted to read this one as soon as it came out. Didn't pick it up. Finally got a hold to a copy of it. So I want to get to that one too. Now these are just options. Those aren't definites. I'm definitely going to read The Shell Seekers. This is a must. Mary Barton as my classic. I definitely want to read another Agatha Christie. And The Westing Game will fulfill that prompt on for over a year. So I definitely want to get to these. These are priorities. And also the last book in the Anne of Green Gables series. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it if I can recall it. But in the Anne of Green Gables series, I've been reading in what we've been calling the Anne-along. It's a group read through the Anne of Green Gables series. And we're on our last book. We finished that in August. So that is definitely a priority as well. I don't have a copy of that, so I'll have to check it out from my library. But I will definitely be reading that one and these. And then those few that I mentioned, I'll pick one of these from Michelle Greep because that will be a favorite author. That will be a prompt. And then I will pick one of these. I'm not sure which one. And then I also had this one that I had mentioned several months ago to read as historical fiction, The Nature of Fragile Things by Susan Meissner. And I've heard great things about this one too. There's just too many books. There's just too many. So I have all these on this stack that I really need to get to soon. It's crazy. It's just insane. All these books I keep picking up and I need to read them. But it's fun anyway, and I'll get to them when I get to them, right? So those are the books that I am planning on reading. This is my definites that I will be reading. And then, of course, I have this other pile of possibilities. What are you reading during the month of August? Do you have one that you're anticipating to be a 5-star read? Let me know that in the comments. And also, thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing and liking the channel. And thank you for just watching these each week, because I just appreciate it so much when I come over and I post these videos and I'm not sure you know, if anyone's going to like them or not. You know, I'm just sitting here talking about the books I'm reading. But when I hop back on and I see all the comments, it just thrills me to see that other people care just as much about books as I do, and they enjoy reading them too. And I just love building this community with you. So thank you so much for commenting, and you know, don't hesitate to comment or ask questions, whatever as you're watching. If you think of something, ask a question or make a comment. I love to read your comments, and I love to get to know you through our community. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll see you soon.